This is like my favorite match I think I've seen between the teens. I'm loving it. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are finally here. We have come to the end of the road. Yes, we are now at the season finale of season 4 of Cobra Kai. And it's been a journey so far. Like, honestly, I know this isn't the end. Thank you for those in my comments who let me know that this isn't actually the last season. And obviously, the way that they've been building things up this season, it's very clear that they don't intend to end here. But I wasn't sure when the season started, because 4 is a lot for a series that started out as a YouTube original, right? But I'm glad to hear that they plan on doing at least a couple more seasons, because we definitely have more story to tell. And last episode, we had some crazy stuff go down, particularly at the end. We were in the All Valley tournament. We're finally getting to this big all or nothing battle that's going to decide whether or not Cobra Kai has to shut down again, or if, you know, Miyagi-do and Eagle Fang get to continue, you know, teaching in the Valley. And obviously, it's a lot more than that. It's pride on the line for the kids. For the grown-ups, it's finally getting Kreese and his influence away. Like, there's a lot riding on this one little competition that's supposed to be like a somewhat fun way for kids to express their karate, but here we are. But things are going a little bit crazy. We have members from each of our dojos in the finals, mostly Cobra Kai, of course, thanks to the mixed teachings that were offered via Robbie of Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai styles. But we see that there's a battle between Hawk and Miguel, but we see, unfortunately, that Miguel's back seemingly tweaked in the middle of his fight. Things are getting a little messy. I'm not sure how we're going to finish out this season now that they, you know, one of the star fighter of Eagle Fang is now probably out of the tournament, maybe, unless we're going to get some craziness happen. And I'm really excited just to see how it goes. The name of this episode is The Rise. The last one was called The Fall. So the question is, who rises, though? But we're not going to know until we watch the episode. So enough yibber-yabbering from me. Let's get into the episode. But before we do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Hopefully you like it here, and you'll hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. It really helps me out with the algorithm and helping people to see these videos. So I really appreciate it if you do that. And if you really, really like it here, you can hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when I do new uploads. Obviously, this series is done for now, but I will be reacting to all the series that I can of this show because I absolutely love it. And, you know, I do all kinds of really good stuff here. So hopefully you'll join the fam. And the same goes for those of you who've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back. Please also think about hitting that thumbs up button and subscribe too. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right about now. Oh my God, we are all the way back to the hospital? Damn, the show be taking giant skips these days. Or we're doing a flashback to when he was in the hospital first time. Oh my God, I forgot about you. I'm so sorry. I forgot about you, Stingray. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out.
Call that detective. Tell Miss John Doe is awake.
John Doe? Did he have no idea? Where the hell did Silver put him?
Good news. Looks like it's just a pulled muscle.
That's what I thought.
So let the pain guide you. If it's telling you to sit this one out, I'd listen.
Right? Isn't that the same paramedic from that dealt with Robbie? Only one paramedic in all the Valley.
Dice que estuviste estupendo, especialmente cuando le diste la patada en la cara de ese muchachito.
I love her. Best Nana in the world, honestly. She kind of is like that male-like vibe in his life before Johnny came along. I love it. I do hope, I don't know, he's got to do what's right for him. I feel like his mind's going to be off now, though, now that he hurt his back, because mentally you're going to be worried that you're going to hurt yourself again.
I feel like a helpless Jedi youngling about to get slaughtered.
Okay,
I
well,
love
you're
it.
taller. You have the high ground. That's how Obi-Wan beat Anakin, right? All right, just remember your fundamentals, Dimitri.
Daniel's like, enough geek talk. Even though I know he definitely watched Star Wars, because everybody did. Especially if you were from the 70s. Come on. I don't think Dimitri can beat Robbie, unfortunately. And not because of skill, but because of confidence. Because Robbie's only been training like a few more months than Dimitri. Oh, that was close. Good job, Dimitri, though. He's done a lot better than he used to.
He's pretty good.
He's very good.
So are you.
Yes, so are you. You did a very good job, Dimitri, even if you didn't win this match, boo. Compared to what we saw last season, you have grown. This isn't going to go well. This could not be the worst.
I saw your match.
This couldn't be the worst time.
What do you want?
Start with the apology.
All the shit I did. And, you know, it wasn't cool, and I guess I was just trying
To
to...
impress your friends by picking on the new kid who didn't have any.
Yes.
Because no one's ever been such a piece of shit to you! Well, maybe it's time you found out.
Oh, Kenny, you're gonna end up with juvie. Just like your brother.
Get ready for high school next year. Because you're gonna be in a world of pain.
Such a good little villain, though. I really, like, you gotta give kudos to the actor.
It's Cobra Kai.
Exactly. What are you talking
No
about?
mercy.
Right? Like, have you been paying attention to class, Robbie? This is exactly what Cobra Kai is and always has been.
Anthony, just leave me alone!
Oh, Robbie, you are literally in a pit of vipers. We'll see how long it is before he figures out that he's gonna get bit. You're gonna need to calm down, Samantha. If you go into that fight angry, you are not gonna win against Tori. Ooh, Tori's a little shook and I love it.
Didn't have to be this way, Johnny. It could have been with me and your real son.
Okay.
You don't care about Robbie any more than you cared about me.
Bullshit.
Period.
I cared more about you than anyone.
You got a funny way of showing it.
You have a problem with that?
No, Sensei.
Oh, he's
No
so
mercy.
fine. God, he was fine. Look at him.
No, that's never gonna happen. Because tonight, Cobra Kai's gonna die.
The threat from his soul. Miggy, I need you to... Can you relax?
Everything you've learned, everything you've been through, was just a warm-up for this moment. All right, it's time to show the world what you're made of.
This is actually one of Johnny's better speeches.
Do what I tell you, we'll not only take down Cobra Kai, we'll show LaRusso and everybody else who's really the best.
That's not why he's doing
That's what this is about.
Hey,
Exactly.
if we lose, I'm not your sensei anymore. You want that?
This has nothing to... What?
Right, prove it. Fight for it.
Oh my god, this is so
You're not
stupid.
kidding,
Like, no. Just because you can't necessarily hold a dojo or whatever this stupid deal was doesn't mean you can't keep teaching Miguel karate. Are you kidding? I mean, I know this is for the sake of the show, but when you actually take it logically, this is so stupid. I actually kind of hope that Miguel just, like, drops in the middle of the island and says, you know what, keep it.
Miguel Diaz has 1 minute to return to the mat.
Why you gotta make it so dramatical, sir? The boy got hurt.
Kind of dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you! It's the final countdown. Y'all didn't have to do it like this. You could talk or chat or something in the meantime, just making it all like ominous. Y'all are asses. Why would you do this to him?
It looks like Miguel Diaz is not gonna fight. Which means that the winner by default is Eli Moskowitz.
It is what it is. I'm glad that Miguel didn't do it, honestly.
He's probably afraid to see you because he thinks he let you down.
Unless
I'm
Kreese.
the one that let him down.
He did. You put way too much pressure on the kid. You should have told him win or lose. It's good.
Congrats.
Okay, thank God he's okay.
I wasn't fighting for me anymore.
I get that.
Good job.
So you got the reading for me, right?
I'm always rooting for you, Sam.
I like this turnaround, right? Because in season 1, like, he wanted her to root for him, and of course she wasn't very happy with him at the time. But now it's like the other way around. She's fighting and he gets to be the one rooting for her, so I do like that. Why does he look so upset, though?
The title is theirs. Ooh, high drama.
I can't with this guy. I can't.
You don't need them. But you're strong enough on your own.
Really? Are you on your own, though, with these two weirdos behind you?
It's not about him. The biggest battle is always the one within.
Period.
Where you find your balance, and those points will come. Right?
Competitors.
See, look at the difference. Daniel's so right. Like, revenge feels good. It does, but only temporarily. And you usually have to lower yourself into becoming, like, you saw what happened when you were dealing with, what's his name? Kyler? You don't want to be that guy. Fight the best match you can. If you win, you win. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Robbie knows that you did your best. Do you have a problem, Silver? Do you need to go take a nap, have a snack?
And you were in Cobra Kai longer than him. You each know each other's karate better than anyone. Put him on defense.
Look at him growing and listening to his little girl. That's why I love Daniel. My boy's always growing. Mr. Miyagi taught him the best lessons ever about just adapting and growing when necessary. Although Mr. Miyagi still would not have approved of any of this. Although I shouldn't say that. He did go to war. Okay, Hawk. Okay. That was hot. That's right. She calling you by your government name. You know she want that now. Oh, this is like my favorite match I think I've seen between the teens. I'm loving it. Ooh, he's getting all loose. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Back to your sides.
What's that noise? What does that mean?
Amazing competitors have reached their 3-minute time limit in a 1-1 time, which means
Of
by
course.
sudden death overtime.
Sir! I do not need him narrating this anymore or being the MC. He's making it far too dramatical. Look at these bloodthirsty animals. It's like the Roman arenas all over again. I mean, they're fighting fair though, so I appreciate that no one's going dirty here. They're actually just doing straight up skill.
This fight should be over by now. Do you want to fight him?
Exactly. Go!
Any advice on the last point?
Just breathe.
Give him all you got.
I'm sorry. It was cute when I was doing it by accident, but now it's just like, you guys, man, you gotta look at him. He's like, I don't know. It's technically not nudity. I don't know. Hawk's like, okay. Let's both do it. Daniel's like, gulp. See, you could have punched him in the nuts when he did that split. Robbie's having an identity crisis. I'm not mad at it though. If he wins, he's got to feel good about it, and I don't think he wants to win for Cobra Kai anymore. He never really did, let's be real, but I think he's starting to realize that now. I like that they're showing that they're tired because that's very, very, very valid. In a lot of these action movies, you see people be fighting for 45 minutes. Like, that's just not feasible. You would be exhausted.
Point. Winner.
I never thought I'd cheer for Hawk, but yay! He was such a dick the last time he fought that I can't help it.
Eli, you must go win.
That sounds much better than Hawk, by the way.
You alright?
Yeah.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
I'm not asking you to back down. I just want you to play by the rules. Even if I still don't understand them.
I think she got into Tori's head in a way she didn't expect, but I appreciate that. Like, can you not fight dirty? I don't know that Tori doesn't know how to play any other way, though. Like, even before she was in Cobra Kai, you know she was a cheap shot kind of bitch.
They can learn from both of us and use what we teach them to create their own way.
Daniel's finally awake.
Yeah, but I do it your way.
One day, you do own way.
Yeah.
Some of what you teach can be good sometimes.
It only took Daniel 30 years.
And I'm sorry I didn't realize that sooner.
But this is why he'll always be the bigger man, let's be real.
I saw you and Miguel bonding and I freaked out. I was afraid of losing that connection.
No, you all should have worked together.
You want me to help Miyagi-do win?
Miyagi. Bang. That just.
Let's do this.
What better way?
I love that they did it with the bow too, because that just throws it all the way back. That was a really beautiful moment with both of them being a little bit more grown up. And if I could just get my boy Johnny to just see that with his son.
The Bonsai Badass, Samantha LaRusso.
I don't know whether or not Miyagi would want Bonsai Badass associated with his karate, but okay. It's Miyagi Fang-do.
Sensei and Johnny Lawrence.
Yay! Good job, Daniel. That is extreme growth.
So you ready to kick some ass?
Yes, Sensei. If that's okay with my other sensei.
Respectful.
Just make sure you keep your anger in check, huh?
She's like, I don't need the rest. I already know what you're gonna say. I just needed you to accept that I'm different.
Go kick some Cobra Kai ass.
Peary. See what Eli did? Kind of do that. I do wonder though, because like I said, Sam's mom, I think, got into Tori's head. But we also know that Sam's got a lot of issues where Tori's concerned too, so this could be interesting. This is much more of an emotional battle than it is a physical one between these two. Oh! God damn! Sam said, foot to the face, bitch! Look at her mom like, I didn't know she had that in her. As long as it's fair, in the sense of no dirty shots, they just gotta do their best. My question is, when's someone gonna get kicked in the chest? Never mind.
Style should I use?
What? Both.
Yours. Trust your instincts. Use everything you've learned from me and Sensei Lawrence.
That's right. Every now and then.
That was so gracious of you, Johnny. Oh, man. She's like, I don't know this one. Robbie didn't know everything. You forget that she trained with Miyagi before Robbie did, okay?
No point, out of bounds.
What?
Come on!
She hit that point before she stepped out of bounds. That ref is totally biased. That's a load of BS. Oh, not the double punch. Not the double punch. Your throat and your titties. It's interesting though, when they switch to the stunt doubles, they zoom out a lot. Let's see if Tori goes to mental warfare here.
Warning! Elbow to the face. Go to your senseis.
Warning, that should be a point deduction.
I didn't mean to. No, it was an accident.
Yeah, well, see, this is what happens when you do a lot of things you're not supposed to, Tori. People aren't going to believe you do things by accident.
Give her a shot to the other eye. She can't see, she can't fight.
When I get disqualified?
Why?
Exactly.
Come on, that's not fair. I got second place.
Second place is no place, you're off.
Ooh, now you're starting to hear what he said to you 30 damn years ago?
Come on, who's the loser now?
Did you really forget all of that, Kreese? Did you really block out the fact that you were choking out your own student?
So whatever happens, it's up to you.
I don't think I'm ready for Kreese growth yet. I'm not there yet. I can't. Does this mean that Terry's gonna be the new villain going forward? Because I'm not ready for like the team up of Kreese and these two. I can't. Take your power back, Sam. Take your power back. And she's seeing the patterns in the way that Tori fights now too, which is very interesting.
Point! Winner!
Congratulations. It was a fair fight for once. So there wasn't even any head games, so I can't even be mad at Cobra Kai for this one, honestly.
We'll soon be opening Cobra Kai franchises throughout the entire valley. So every one of you young men and women here can
all become assholes. Bow at him, Johnny. Bow at him. That's the best thing you can do right now, is to bow at him.
We did the right thing, and we still didn't win.
It's okay, honey, you did win. They fought hard, they fought well, they fought honestly. You don't always win. Johnny, congratulate your son. That was a perfect opportunity for Johnny to fix not fix, but start again. Again.
I almost thought you were gonna back out of our deal a few times. You know what?
Knew it!
Suspects a thing.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew he hit that point. I knew that Tori actually lost. Enjoy. But sadly, that is the way that life works. There are people out there who cheat. But I promise you, look at Silver. He's an absolute psychopath. Guess they're moving to their shiny new location already. Oh, full circle for you, hey, Johnny? Where you thought your dreams were going to come true and they turn into a nightmare again. Also, why does no one ever lock the door to this place?
Robbie. What's going
Oh,
on?
you know his name.
You kicked ass today.
Thank you.
I thought I could take him under my wing. Be the mentor I wish I had when I was younger. And I realized I screwed everything up.
Oh, maybe he's finally starting to get a little empathy for his
I had all
dad.
this hate inside of me, and I thought I could use Cobra Kai to control that. But it just made things worse, and now it's never gonna get better.
It's not true.
I got in the way of that. Don't blame yourself, you blame me.
That doesn't make
I'm sick of blaming you.
I was saying, it doesn't make him feel any better. You're still his dad. Thank you, Jesus. You should have done this 3 seasons ago. It's all this boy has wanted deep down is for you to just give him a damn hug and mean it. Come live with me in my crap apartment. That hit me. That hit me, guys. I'm tearing up.
I gotta give you credit.
So exactly how y'all gonna break up?
You reawakened something in me.
Yeah, the devil. You know how like King Midas was able to turn things into gold? Kreese turns everything into shit.
Well, what can I say? I had a moment of sympathy. That's the first.
You mean mercy?
When you asked me what I thought your weakness was. It's Johnny Lawrence.
Interesting, but true.
Because everyone has a weakness, John.
Very true.
And mine is you. You think that I'm your weakness.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious.
I have been your strength ever since Vietnam. Yes, there it is.
There it is, exactly.
I can always count on you playing the guilt card.
That is the most played card in his deck. Oh my God! Did the Viper get bitten by another Viper?
Give me his name and I promise you I'll put him away for a long, long time.
You want to be Cobra Kai, huh?
Yes.
You want to be Cobra Kai?
Idiot's gonna cover for silver.
You gotta do something for me.
Oh, he lied on Kreese!
His name is Sensei.
Oh yeah, I guess he wouldn't know his name.
John Kreese.
Oh, there we go. Oh, you foolish, foolish boy. But I don't know how much of that he was doing because he wants to fit in or because he was terrified for his actual life.
You have the right to remain silent.
John, what did you do?
It's behind your back.
I shouldn't laugh, but I'm gonna.
Sure, I can dig up an old friend or two to help out with Cobra Kai while you deal with your legal problems.
Who the hell else could he bring into this?
Don't worry about Lawrence. I'll take good care of him too.
Ooh, look at you! Look at all of your tricks coming back to bite you in the balls, Kreese. I don't feel sorry for your ass. I don't. I feel sorry for those poor ass students now that have to deal with this sociopath that you unlocked. Thanks. I love this actor, by the way, though. He does such a good job. But yeah, no, sorry. Kreese, I can't feel bad for you, boo. You need to go through this. You need to understand. Like I said, you stay in a pit of vipers long enough, one of them gonna bite you. Even if you a viper too.
What's going on?
Show him the note.
Oh, did Miguel run away? Did he decide to go find his daddy?
The last few months have been a roller coaster.
Both the LaRussos got beaten up today.
But I was wrong.
Oh,
Tell
cry for
Sensei
yourself, Kreese.
And to figure that out, I think I need to know where I came from.
Oh.
Sensei was scared to find out the truth about it.
Viva la Mexico!
I need to meet my father. This is something I have to do.
Yes, Mexico, Ciudad.
I'm gonna find him and I'll make sure he's safe.
If you choose him, you've chosen him over Robbie again, didn't you? Where's Robbie?
I didn't tell you about my ex-husband.
I know. He said he's a bad dude. Don't worry, I can handle myself.
He doesn't know Miguel exists. I just want my baby back home safe.
This is why moms should be open about that kind of stuff. Johnny, I really hope you work something out with Robbie, because if you abandon him again, I'm sorry. I know that this is, again, somewhat imminent, but no.
I even put aside my rivalry and teamed up with Johnny. None of it worked.
It's a tournament, Daniel.
I know this isn't your fight. And this is a lot to ask. But will you help me finally put an end to Cobra Kai?
Yes! I love Chosen! I'm so happy about this team up! Yes! I'm so happy about this! Yay! I want season 5 right now! I want it right now! Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. Why not? 3 senseis, yes. And the best part is he's gonna learn all the sides of Miyagi-Do that Daniel never knew. Something that creature Silver will know nothing about. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. That was actually a nice uptick for what was actually a somewhat sad episode, but good in some ways. Whew. Whew. Well, guys, that was the season finale of season 4 of Cobra Kai, and really well done, I think. I think it was a really nice culmination point. I kind of felt like I said in the last episode, like the jump from 8 to 9 felt a bit abrupt, but this, I feel like, was a nice way to kind of put a ribbon on like what I would consider to be like the first half of this arc. Right. And I say that in the sense of, you know how like stories kind of have acts, right? I think I guess we're technically the end of act 2, maybe, right? We've done act 1 was kind of like the initial rivalry between Johnny and Daniel. And then them kind of getting to at the end of that, at the end of season 2, and then season 3. And this season was kind of like act 2, where we had like Daniel and Johnny trying to figure things out together, but still having intrinsically, different belief systems and not being able to do it. Plus the additional, shall we say, spice of Silver. And now we're going into yet another era where now Kreese is either, I wouldn't say he's out of the equation yet, but yeah, final act we're going to be going into here about what we're going to do as far as how we're going to wrap this whole thing up, because Miyagi-Do can't go away. You know what I'm saying? That can't end. And well, Eagle Fang can probably go, because it was kind of let's face it, it really wasn't the greatest idea, but I'm fine. I mean, they might keep it just because, Johnny wants to have a sense of self in this whole teaching situation. So maybe it'll have to keep being Miyagi Fang for now. But I do think that they wrapped it up quite well. The parts of this episode I really liked. How do we go from the beginning? I guess from the beginning, I love the fight between Eli and Robbie. Oh my God, the choreography, that was great. I think it was just a really good match. And I feel like they made it really well because both Robbie and Eli, I think, are about on the same as far as how long they've been learning karate, right? I think they both are sitting at about a year. Showtime. So I expected them to be much more well matched as far as skill. And I love that they both kind of have, like Mr. Miyagi said, or like Mr. Miyagi, sorry, like Daniel said, they both have like the same mixture, but just in reverse, right? So Eli trained Cobra Kai up until a few months ago. So he's got like, maybe if you were to put like in a percentage, it's like Eli's like 80% Cobra Kai and 20% Miyagi-Do. And then Robbie's like the other way around, right? So they both kind of have this mixture that's not quite complete. Like there's one style that's definitely more their dominant form, but together they kind of have pretty much the same style. And so I think it was a well-matched fight. It was really fun to watch. But what I loved about it was that it was just a straight up, no dirty tricks, no mind games. Like they literally were just like, we're here to fight. And I love the fact that Daniel once again told Eli before the fight, don't make this about revenge because you're going to lose if that's the case. You need to just fight your best fight, like get your balance, take this on like you would any other match, and that's how you'll do your best. And that's exactly what happened, right? Eli kind of let all of that anger go and the emotion that would have definitely thrown him off balance, and he was able to do a really good fight. And in the end, he won. And I love that. Like they just kind of showed, and I think Eli needed that win and more than just I wanted to kick Robbie's butt side of things, but also because, he's been through a bit, since this whole roller coaster of him losing the Hawk persona and realizing who he's trying to be after the Hawk persona, and actually after having his head shaved and everything. Like, he had a few confidence knocks, but I think that now he's finally in that place where he kind of is okay with who he's going to be going forward. Love that Moon was in the audience shouting out his full government name and being proud of him because of that. So I think that was a nice way for that fight. Robbie's 0 for 2. Unfortunately, this is 2 championship fights he's lost now, poor guy. But I think it's again because Robbie is not that person. Robbie is definitely more a Miyagi-Do person. He is someone who needed balance. He's much more of a calm and benevolent person in spirit. So Cobra Kai did help him channel some anger, but it's not who he really is. And I think that's why he could never really fully adhere to that style the way that Hawk did, right? Because Hawk just really leaned into his anger back in the day, right? So anyway, I like that Robbie was okay. Like he obviously didn't want to lose, but I like that he just played fair the entire time. And I love the way he just snapped it at Silver too. Like, you have such an issue, you get on the mat and fight him then. Like, leave me alone. So yeah, I'm happy for him that he at least had that moment. And I think he's starting to get that clarity, overall, in that this situation was not giving him what he thought it would give. And that the fact that even, like I said in the last episode, Daniel took the time to give him advice about how if he just keeps trying to do this, getting back at everybody game, he's going to lose himself in the process and he will never win no matter how much he wins, right? And I think he recognized that, especially when he realized that especially Silver, but that neither Silver or Kreese really gave a damn about him. They were just all about beating the other dojo. Like, this was so above them, or sorry, above him, I should say, that it's like he was insignificant again. And that's the one thing Robbie doesn't want, is to continue being insignificant, right? He just wants somebody to give a damn about him. And I think that really hit home in this last fight. So I like that he just kind of had his match, and then, you know, that he looked over at his dad, and for once, you know, Johnny didn't give him a dirty look or anything judging. I would have really liked it if he had bowed to him, because even though I know he's not happy with Cobra Kai, Robbie fought a fair fight, and he's grown a lot as a fighter, and he lost, but he lost fair and square. You know what I mean? So I just would have liked it maybe if Johnny had just, you know, done that little bit, but it's all right. In the end, you know, as we saw there towards the end of the show there, they did work some things out. I'm going to get to that in a minute, though, because that's a huge moment that, you know, some of us have been waiting all 4 seasons to happen. The Tori and Sam fight was great as well. I think that they did a really good job of showing the difference in styles. And I love how you saw Sam kind of ping-ponging between her two styles and not knowing what to do. And I love that Daniel finally kind of let go. And it took that fight for him to recognize that I have to let go of my rigidity around the way that karate is taught. Like, my daughter is doing really well with these two styles. And I just, you know, like, it was this pride that didn't want to admit that initially because he knew it was Johnny's teachings. But he's starting to understand that it's not about having, you know, the perfect Miyagi only style, right? It's about doing what's best for you. And, you know, there's so many factors that incorporate into how someone does karate: their body type, their size, their weight, their strengths, their weaknesses. And yeah, Daniel just has to figure out that, you know, what worked for him does not necessarily work for Sam. She's a completely different person in a completely different situation in a different time of her life. So, and also a much different place in her life than Daniel was when he learned. So anyway, I'm glad that he came to that conclusion that trying to forbid Sam from ever doing anything other than his way was not going to work, not only in karate, but it was not going to work in life, right? You got to let your kids forge their own path. And that was kind of his first lesson in that. So I like that that was kind of the opening door for that. I also like the fact that Mrs. LaRusso, that she went out and talked to Tori ahead of time. And I don't blame her at all for going to Tori and just saying, I just want you to fight clean. That's all I'm asking, is that she's like, do your best. If my daughter loses, she loses, but please just don't fight dirty. You know, don't do something that's going to hurt her permanently again, because she knows very well that Tori's capable of that. And I think that, you know, even though I'm still not the biggest Tori fan at all, it's going to take a lot to get her redeemed for me. But she's getting there. She's getting there. In this episode, you can tell she is softening, because Mrs. LaRusso is showing her kindness, and she's like the last person that should be showing Tori any type of empathy or kindness, considering that she literally scarred her daughter for life. But my bitter self aside, the reality is the way that people genuinely change in this world is when people are willing to let go of their first impulse and their first instinct to retaliate and actually just show them a different path, right? That's what, you know, if you want to get biblical on it, the turning of the other cheek, that's really what that means. It's not saying you should put up with being bullied. It's saying that there are situations where rather than returning fire with fire, it's better to give something else, because it could really be what helps someone turn over a leaf and do better. And while Tori is infuriating in so many ways, she is still a kid and she has been through a lot. And there is still time for her to turn her life around. But I think she needed something different than the negativity and fight, which a lot of that happened because she kept putting that out there. But, you know, having Mrs. LaRusso come in, and even though this was a match where her daughter is the person she's cheering for, taking the time to give Tori the positive reinforcement about keeping up with her appointments to help with her emotional stuff. And then Tori actually saying, you know, thank you for doing that, because I actually now have help to take care of my brother so I can focus on school and my work. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think Tori's starting to realize that not all rich people are evil, and that, again, there are ways out, but you have to be the one to initiate it. Like, this is not the only way to solve things. And so I do think she's on the path as well to realizing that the way of Cobra Kai is not the only way. And we definitely saw that after she won the match, which she didn't really win the match. I knew it. I saw it, and I'm glad that they showed it. Sam definitely scored her point before she went out of bounds. So it sucks because Sam did win the match, but whatever. But anyway, in the end, we see that Tori's victory is now hollow, because she now knows that her victory was bought. And that sucks for her, especially, right? Because she worked damn hard. And to have that taken. Like I feel like no matter how spoiled you may be, winning fair and square feels great. Losing sucks, but when you know you've lost despite doing, like, you know, you've done your best and it just wasn't enough in that moment, it sucks, but you're able to get past it because you know that, hey, I fought at my best. It wasn't enough. I just got to work harder for next time, right? And that also makes sense because, I mean, if we want to get into the feasibility of things, Sam's been learning. She's known karate since, when did their dad say? She started when she was like 5 or 6 years old. Like, she literally has over 10 years of experience over Tori. Like, it just isn't very feasible to me that Tori would beat her with only a year's worth of training, right? Like, that's just insane. I mean, I know that Tori did other types of martial arts too, but you get my point. But anyhow, that's now a hollow victory. But I think, again, it's also, she's starting to feel just like Eli, you know, it's the wool's starting to come off her eyes as far as the whole Cobra Kai Kreese, especially Silver situation. And we'll see what happens in the next season if she still feels like Cobra Kai is the right home for her. But I think that her and Kreese do have a bond, though. I don't think she's going to abandon Kreese because Kreese did help her out with that creep of a landlord. But we'll have to see. What else did we have? We had that really sad moment between Anthony LaRusso and Kenny. Kenny is very much upset about losing his match against Robbie. And we see that, like, he's just an angry little boy now, right? Cobra Kai got to him at such a young age, much like Robbie, or sorry, much like Johnny, right? Kreese, yeah, I think Kreese started training Johnny about the same age as Kenny was. So this is still a very formative time in a kid's life. And Kenny, unfortunately, came to Cobra Kai when he was in a very dark place as far as being scared and feeling low and just, you know, a lot of really low and negative emotions. And that is not a good place to start anything that's founded in violence and retaliation. So of course he's taking this mantra on because he feels stronger with it. But I think we'll see it in the next season because we did see his dad. It was only one episode actually where we saw his dad, but I feel like we wouldn't have gone through like bringing all that stuff in unless we're going to see a little bit more about his dynamic probably next season. But yeah, if I was to just take a touch into it, I do think that there's a lot more going on with Kenny. I think he's feeling a lot of pressure from his parents being the good kid when his brother's in and out of juvie and the bad kid, so to speak. His parents don't seem like they're around very much either. It looks like this kid has to fend for himself a lot. So there's probably a lot going on there emotionally outside of the bullying. But Cobra Kai is now his outlet for dealing with that frustration because, again, when you are the quote-unquote good kid, when you have a sibling that's really taken up a lot of your parents' bandwidth and caused them to become a little bit jaded as far as you and anything you might do, you almost feel like you have to be too good. You know, you have no room to be yourself because if doing anything wrong might cause your parents to come down on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of pressure. And I feel like that's something that Kenny is dealing with, but we didn't really get a chance to get into his life outside of the bullying in this season, but I feel like it's going to become a thing next season for sure. We saw that, unfortunately, when Anthony tried to do the right thing and own up to his behavior and apologize, which isn't an easy thing to do, but honestly, like, a little late. But Kenny wasn't having it, right? That was the absolute worst moment for that to happen. I don't think it would have changed though. Like, Kenny's really like drinking the Kool-Aid right now. So, but at least he did it. And unfortunately though, that's probably caused a rift with those two, which may take a whole 2 seasons to resolve. But we'll see what happens. We see that it looks like that going into high school, Kenny is going to be a bully, which is not cool, but I think he's going to learn something pretty quickly. And I have a distinct feeling that Robbie is going to spend a good chunk of next season trying to see if he could reverse the damage he feels that he caused Kenny. So I think that was it for the match stuff. Then we had Miguel. Very proud of Miguel that he decided not to fight in the last fight, despite the fact that like he actually was not exactly 100%. And I do think that mentally he would have been too worried about his back the entire time anyway. But the speech that Johnny gave him was so wrong. It started out really, really good, and then it went sideways just as quickly when he started to put, the future of Eagle Fang and beating Kreese and all these things that had nothing to do with Miguel on him to win that match. I completely understand why Miguel was like, wait, why am I doing this again? Like, am I winning this match for me? Or am I doing it for a bunch of reasons that literally had nothing to do with me and started before I was even like a part of your life, right? So I'm really proud of him for using the option he was given to not return to the fight to do it. It was kind of an honorable way to do it too. Like, he forfeited basically, but it was for a valid reason. I really don't think he should have fought even if he wasn't trying to make a point. But I'm proud of him for doing that and choosing himself and making Johnny take another step back and realize that this whole rivalry thing has to stop taking priority in his life and that there are real people, these kids are real people that are involved in a 30-year-old mess that they have nothing to do with. So Good for Miguel for stepping away from that situation. But then we found out that it was more than that. That ever since that night where Johnny accidentally called it, not accidentally, it was on purpose, but you know what I mean. When he said that basically he's very much still upset about his lack of connection with Robbie, it just kind of woke up in Miguel that Johnny isn't his biological father. And while he's a good father figure to him in many ways, he has a lot of questions and a lot of unfinished business, so to speak, as far as his dad is concerned. And he's decided that he wants to go and find, like he said, he did find him. He knows where his dad is, but he'd never really done anything about it. But now this is what he's going to do. He wants to go. He wants to meet him. He's got questions. And I think that's valid. I think that any child who has a missing parent in their life is always going to wonder about that parent, no matter what the other parent might say. And I think I talked about it back in that episode, that I don't think it's the right idea ever for a mom to withhold information about someone's dad. Even if unless it's something where like that person is literally a psychopath. But even then, I think you should, like Miguel's 17, like he's old enough to know the truth now, right? So I do think she should have sat Miguel down long before this and explained her reasons for why she left, and also told him that his father did not know that he was even a thing, because she felt that strongly about how unsafe this man was. So there's that whole situation. We'll see what goes on with that next season. But I'm also thinking, I still said this a couple episodes ago, and I still think it's the truth. I do think that Johnny's going to go on a voyage to find his own father as well. And then finally, that brings us to what I think is one of the best parts of the episode, and something we've all been waiting for a long time, at least I have. Johnny and Robbie having a conversation, finally, and Johnny, for once, not completely screwing up that conversation. I think the last time that we had him be somewhat on the right page with Robbie was after he helped Robbie with the whole Sam situation. But Robbie came and said he actually followed Johnny to the now old dojo. And I love that Johnny, instead of saying anything, he just said, "You did good on your match. You know, it really was, neck and neck," like, just kind of giving him like as much as he could. Then you see like Robbie's like, okay, cool. And I think that kind of helped Robbie feel okay with letting the rest of the vulnerability go. And I love that he just straight up told his dad everything. Like, this is why I joined Cobra Kai. I was just so angry at you, and I was angry at Miguel. And he didn't say it, but really jealous of their connection and the fact that Johnny put way more effort into that relationship than his. He's like, I did this, and now I realize after looking at Kenny and what he's turning into, that this is not the right way at all, and that I've messed up very, very badly. I love that Johnny was like, it's not really the right approach, but I get it, where he was like, no, it's my fault. Like, blame me. I'm the one who did, screwed up and pushed you there. And he's like, but I can't anymore. Like, it's not getting me anywhere to keep blaming you for all the things that are wrong in my life, right? Like, it's just hating you doesn't feel good. And it's true. I love that he finally came to the conclusion that emotion wasn't working for him, and it wasn't bringing him any peace. Poor kid was just a blubbering mess. He just wants his dad to acknowledge him and put some bloody effort in. And I'm glad that Johnny actually just hugged him in that moment and didn't try to, Johnny's not really great with words to begin with. So I'm just glad he just got to hug the kid and he was just like, we're going to work it out. So I'm really hoping Johnny sticks to it this time. Like, I know this Miguel situation again has come up, because that's what always happens in the show. The second Johnny takes one step forward with Robbie, something comes up with Miguel and gives him yet again an option to choose Miguel over Robbie. I'm hoping, if anything, maybe he brings Robbie with him, like that would be a good father-son bonding moment, right? For them to go to Mexico together. But yeah, I'm just hoping that Johnny doesn't screw it up again. And that also, I love that Johnny also said, hey, LaRusso, you and LaRusso had a good connection, and that's a good thing, and you can still go back there. That actually brings me to the other part of it, which is Daniel and Johnny finally having that moment. My last point, I've been rambling a lot here, but I love the fact that Daniel finally admitted the fact that he is very stubborn about thinking that Miyagi-Do is the only way, and it's because it really is about his relationship with his sensei, which I said since season 1, and that it has nothing to do with Johnny particularly, but now he realizes that Johnny's teachings are not all bad. It may not be something that works for him, but it might work for these students in some way or another. I'm hoping now that the ego is finally been identified and hopefully is in check, going into season 5, these two actually will work together and recognize and find a way to blend their styles in a better way. But I love it that Chosen is now going to be part of Miyagi-Do, or Miyagi Fang-Do, or whatever the heck it's going to be going forward. I cannot wait for Chosen and Johnny to interact, you guys. I can't wait. Because they're actually probably going to get along like besties, and it's going to drive Daniel crazy. I'm really looking forward to it. I love that actor. I love that they're bringing him in as a more permanent fixture. I think people echoed my sentiments from last season about how much we loved him and his interactions and chemistry with Daniel. So that's great. I'm hoping maybe even Kumiko makes a reappearance, but I think that might be too much to ask. She doesn't really have a place in Daniel's life anymore. But anyhow, that was a great season, guys. Again, love this show. Going through this whole like rewatch for the first 3 seasons and then coming into season 4, I think was a really good idea. It really helped me to get my mind in the right place and to remember a lot more of the details that we saw in earlier seasons to feed into this one. This is still one of my favorite shows. Love it to death. Feel like 10 episodes is never enough, and yet it's just good enough as well. And I cannot wait for the next season. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If this is all that you watch from me, then thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in season 5. And if you watch other things that I do, we will see you in the next video.